The Book of Enoch is one of the most mysterious and controversial texts in the Bible. Its status as an apocryphal book, excluded from the official canon, has sparked intense debate over the centuries. The question that arises is, why do so many Christians fear talking about the Book of Enoch? Is it merely the unknown, or is there something deeper and more unsettling that makes this ancient text so troubling? The Book of Enoch, also known as 1 Enoch, is a collection of ancient Jewish writings attributed to the biblical figure Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. Enoch, who walked with God and was taken by him without experiencing death, is one of the most enigmatic figures in the Hebrew Bible. However, the Book of Enoch presents a completely different narrative about Enoch's journey, one that delves into celestial realms, angels, and divine secrets. For many Christians, the Book of Enoch is seen as a threat to their understanding of Scripture. Why? Because it presents a world that is far more complex, chaotic, and filled with rebellious beings than the neatly packaged narrative of the Bible. The Book of Enoch introduces the Watchers, angels sent to earth to guide humanity but who fall from grace by teaching forbidden knowledge, including astrology, the use of weapons, and the art of sorcery. This rebellion is depicted as the root of the corruption of the human race, setting the stage for the Great Flood, which would eventually purge the earth. But it's not just the fallen angels that make the Book of Enoch so unsettling. The text is filled with strange and intricate details about the end of the world, the final judgment, and the ultimate fate of the righteous and the wicked. These visions are not easily understood, and they often challenge the more conventional interpretations of Scripture that have shaped Christian doctrine for centuries. In fact, some of the themes in the Book of Enoch have been labeled as heretical by church authorities, leading to its exclusion from the biblical canon. One of the most significant reasons many Christians hesitate to engage with the Book of Enoch is the fear that it might undermine the traditional understanding of salvation and judgment. The portrayal of angels, demons, and otherworldly beings in the Book of Enoch challenges the more sanitized version of the divine hierarchy found in the canonical Bible. It paints a picture of a universe that is much darker, more complex, and more prone to chaos than the more orderly and controlled world that many Christians are accustomed to. Perhaps one of the greatest fears surrounding the Book of Enoch is the unsettling notion that humans may be privy to knowledge that was never meant to be shared. The fallen angels, in their disobedience, reveal divine secrets to humanity, thereby opening a door to knowledge that was once forbidden. This is a terrifying concept for many, as it suggests that the boundaries between the divine and human realms are not as clearly defined as we might like to believe. The Book of Enoch also offers an alternative view of the cosmos that does not fit neatly into the framework of traditional Christian teachings. The narrative is rich with symbolism, visions of heavenly realms, and the intercession of angels, and it portrays a reality that is filled with mystery, conflict, and judgment. For many Christians, this vision of the world is simply too strange and too radical to accept, and they fear that embracing the Book of Enoch could lead to theological confusion or even heresy. For centuries, the Book of Enoch was ignored or actively suppressed by the Church, and much of its content remained hidden from the broader Christian community. However, in modern times, interest in the Book of Enoch has been rekindled, especially with the rise of biblical scholarship and the discovery of ancient manuscripts that contain parts of the text. This resurgence has led many to wonder, why did the Church go to such lengths to suppress this book? What is it about the Book of Enoch that continues to unsettle believers to this day? Some theologians argue that the Book of Enoch contains important truths that can deepen our understanding of Scripture and the nature of the divine. Others, however, remain deeply wary of its implications, fearing that it might lead believers down a dangerous path of speculation and false doctrine. The fear of the unknown, of the forbidden knowledge presented in the Book of Enoch, continues to shape the way many Christians view this ancient text. The Book of Enoch holds a unique place in religious history, primarily because it challenges some of the fundamental concepts that most Christians hold dear. Many of these challenges have to do with ideas about sin, salvation, and the divine order. It raises questions that many Christians are not ready or willing to confront, and these questions, in turn, provoke fear and hesitation in addressing this ancient text. One of the most disturbing aspects of the Book of Enoch is its portrayal of the Watchers, the angels who descend to earth and interact with humans. These angels are depicted as beings of immense power, but their fall from grace is not just about disobedience, it's about their desire to intervene in human affairs in a way that drastically alters the course of history. In their interaction with humanity, the Watchers teach forbidden knowledge, ranging from the secrets of heaven to the arts of war, sorcery, and astrology. This revelation of hidden knowledge creates a profound tension between divine authority and human free will. For many Christians, this direct involvement of angels in earthly matters opens up unsettling possibilities. Could it be that there are realms of existence and knowledge that we are not meant to understand? Is it possible that humanity, in its pursuit of knowledge, has ventured too far into dangerous territory? The Book of Enoch suggests that this may be the case, and that the divine punishment that follows the fall of the Watchers and their earthly progeny, the Nephilim, is a direct consequence of humanity's temptation to embrace forbidden knowledge. The concept of the Nephilim, the offspring of the Watchers and human women, is also a deeply controversial one. These beings are described as giants, powerful and menacing, and their existence challenges the notion of a world created in harmony by God. The Nephilim, according to the Book of Enoch, were corrupted and violent, leading to their eventual destruction in the Great Flood. The Flood, which is famously depicted in the story of Noah's Ark, is presented in the Book of Enoch as a necessary divine cleansing to rid the world of the chaos and corruption introduced by the Watchers and their Nephilim offspring. This portrayal of the Nephilim is uncomfortable for many Christians, as it complicates the traditional understanding of the flood narrative. The idea that the flood was a divine act of judgment against the unnatural offspring of angels and humans adds a layer of complexity to the story that is often ignored in mainstream Christian teachings. The Book of Enoch presents the flood as a direct response to the fall of the Watchers, showing a world that has fallen out of balance because of the angels' intervention in human affairs. Another aspect of the Book of Enoch that many Christians find troubling is its depiction of the final judgment. In the Book of Enoch, the righteous are promised a reward, while the wicked, particularly the fallen angels, are condemned to eternal punishment. This vision of the afterlife includes detailed descriptions of the fate of the Watchers, who are bound and cast into the abyss, awaiting the day of judgment. The Book of Enoch also speaks of the coming of a messianic figure, the Son of Man, who will serve as the ultimate judge of both angels and humans, bringing justice to the righteous and punishment to the wicked. For many Christians, the notion of a judgment that extends beyond humans to include angels and celestial beings is unsettling. It challenges the idea that salvation is solely a human concern, and it expands the scope of divine justice to include supernatural entities. This larger, more cosmic view of judgment introduces an element of uncertainty and fear, as it suggests that even beings of great power and authority are not immune to divine retribution. Perhaps one of the most provocative aspects of the Book of Enoch is its portrayal of the relationship between angels and humanity. The Watchers are not mere messengers of God but active participants in the shaping of human destiny. Their involvement with humans, especially their illicit union with women, leads to the birth of the Nephilim and introduces a new dimension of moral complexity into the narrative of creation. This interaction between divine beings and humans raises questions about the nature of free will, the limits of divine authority, and the consequences of tampering with the natural order. As Christians continue to grapple with the implications of the Book of Enoch, many are left wondering whether it should be embraced or avoided.